The Innovator's Dilemma: When New Technologies Cause Great Firms to Fail. The book, first published in 1997, is the most well-known work of the Harvard professor and businessman Clayton Christensen. The Economist named it as one of the 6 most important books about business ever written. The presentation is created by Lee Wei, Technology Commercialization Manager from Agency for Science, Technology and Research, A-Star, Singapore. This is John. He is a product engineer in a well-established technology company. His company has been the leader in this market for decades. But one day, John's company went out of business and he lost his job. In the past 1 year, his company lost almost all their customers to a competitor with a disruptive innovation. John is really sad because his company didn't do anything wrong. Somehow, they lost the competition so badly. But John doesn't know that his company failed because they did everything right. To understand the reason, John must know 2 types of innovation: sustaining innovation and disruptive innovation. Sustaining innovation improves the product's performance based on the features valued by mainstream customers. It is aiming at moving upward along certain performance metrics. Disruptive innovation often involves lower performance in many product features. It is born in the niche market that's neglected by current market offerings. Sustaining innovation is driven by existing market demand, but it can ultimately fail the company. Disruptive innovation is an unproven opportunity, but it can be the future of the company. This is the core of the Innovator's Dilemma. Why did John's company, the market leader, miss the opportunity for the disruptive innovation? Let's find out what happened to John's company. While working in the company, John always had many ideas for new products and improvements. With the marketing department, John and his project team gathered feedback from their lead customers and did the market analysis. They chose the best project, the one with big market size, best profit margin, and customer validation. The product or the improvement must be what their leader customer wants. They did everything right. Meanwhile, the competitor with the disruptive innovation, their product was not valued by mainstream market, but they found a niche market by trial and error. As their product improved, the competitor managed to grow the niche market and encroach the customer base of John's company. John's company belatedly jumped on the bandwagon to defend the customer base. However, in the new market, John's company hadn't developed any competitive advantage, and they were too late. In history, the same story happened to many great companies. They failed because the management practices that made them market leaders also made it extremely difficult for them to develop the disruptive innovation. To understand the difficulties, we need to firstly understand the concept of value network. Value network is the context within which an organization is established to get what it values. For established companies, the revenue from their lead customers is the value they are after. The highest performing company has a well-developed system, including the organizational structure, the capability, the corporate culture, the operation, the partnership, and the management. That is its value network tailored to capture the value from its lead customers. Within a value network, the system and its past choices of markets determine its perception of the value of an innovation. It drives resource allocation, such as funding and manpower, towards sustaining innovation that is valued by the current lead customers. And it is extremely difficult to keep resources for a disruptive innovation for an unproven market. This pattern of resource allocation accounts for the well-run company's leadership in the sustaining innovation and their dismal performance in the disruptive one. If we can turn the time backwards, can John's company do something different to better manage the disruptive innovation? There are 5 principles of disruptive innovation. The managers can harness these principles to their advantage. First, customers effectively control the patterns of resource allocation in well-run companies. We should give the responsibility for the disruptive innovation to organizations whose customers need them. The organization could be a spin-off from the company. Second, small markets don't solve the growth needs of large companies. We should match the market size to the size of the organization. and place disruptive innovation projects in organizations small enough to get excited about small markets. Third, the market of the disruptive innovation may not exist and can't be analyzed. Instead of justifying the impact of the project using traditional analysis, we should plan to fail early and inexpensively in the search for the market of the disruptive innovation. Fourth, the existing processes and values define the organization's disabilities when confronted with the disruptive innovation. We should utilize the resources of the mainstream organization to address disruption, but not its processes and values. Fifth, technology supply may not equal market demand. When disruptive innovation is presented, established firms take it as a technical challenge to improve its functionalities. Actually, disruptive innovation is a marketing challenge. We need to identify the niche market, find those people who like it. Let's have a quick summary with John. Why great companies can fail when they are confronted with disruption. The business exists in a value network that shapes leaders' decisions. It could blind them to the disruptive innovation and lose the future opportunity. To better manage the disruptive innovation, we can have a spin-off organization match its size with its market. Plan to fail early and inexpensively. Use only resources from mainstream business. And lastly, don't forget that the disruptive innovation is a marketing challenge. Although John's company failed, he is not such a person who gives up easily. He joins a startup with a disruptive innovation. In a niche market, they don't need to worry too much about their largest competitors. It gives them more time to fine-tune their technology and develop a future mass market. Like many other startups and entrepreneurs, they will surprise the much larger competitors in difference. For more presentations about innovation management and technology commercialization, please visit www.innodiary.org.